The other guy that we haven't touched on, Myles Garrett not there, and you and I have talked about that. That's not a big deal. A lineman in OTAs, there's nothing that he's going to learn there. But a guy who has looked pretty good is Denzel Ward. What did you see with Ward, and take us through this?
Well, you got to play here where he breaks it up on Pickett. This crossing route, he's coming from all the way across the field. But this play is at the, towards the end of practice. The thing that I'm really impressed with Denzel Ward is his attention to detail in all the drills he does. For me, I'm kind of old school, and I follow my dad's lead in how the game of football should be played. But he's a guy that's in the front of the line. He plays with great energy. He's not a rah-rah guy, so he's not that leader everybody wants. But boy, does he play with great pace. He plays with great energy, attention to detail on all his drills. He works on his drills when they're in special teams. He's really never standing around. He's always working his hands and his feet, and he's very coachable, and he wants to be coached. And that's the thing you see with these elite players, and some things these young kids can learn something from. These elite players want to be coached hard, and being as close as I get to be there at practice, which I'm so happy, these guys want to be coached, and they're coached very hard by these Browns coaches. So very impressed with Denzel Ward. Obviously, he makes plays, but there's a reason he makes these plays. One is he's a great athlete, but two, he works on his craft, and it shows when he gets into team drills.
So the question relative to the secondary, how important is it that Greg Newsome and Martin Emerson they regressed? We can say whatever they want. They weren't good last year, and how important are they to making this defense what it can be?
Well, I think you see maybe their limitations a little bit. Obviously, they weren't first-round picks, and maybe there's a reason for that. They're really good players, but the secondary, unless you're a true lockdown guy like Revis or Ward or these guys who are just elite, it's hard to cover these NFL receivers, especially with these new rules. And as much as they regress, which I think they did, it shows you that they have to be complementary with that defensive line. They'll play a lot better when there's a better pass rush. They'll play a lot better when the offense is moving the ball and the other offense has to throw the ball a little bit because they're behind. So those guys, I think, regress, but they show you that in the game of football, there's very few elite guys. Everybody else is kind of relying on their teammates. And I think Newsome and Emerson are those guys. They're really good. They practice really hard. They're awesome. They're inspirational for me as a coach because they work their butts off. But it shows you got to have a pass rush in the NFL, especially because the rules are so against those corners with the hands off. So I think they'll be fine this year. I think that defensive line, Graham, other guys learning the spot. I think Obo's going to rebound a little bit. Alex Wright's coming back. I think the pressure will help those two get back to where they were a couple years ago.